And now Brian. One of the biggest men I think that I got to know in Phoenix, Arizona when I was on the street um, was a man named Brian. And he wasn't quite my age. He was about 10 years younger than me. I'm 50, whatever. He was like 40 and whatever. But Brian was a gay man that I got to know in Phoenix. And by the way, we are outside like a storage or uh, kind of utilitarian area right next to a now closed Tilted Kilt, which is a bar pub franchise kind of thing. Um, Anyways, I knew Brian in 2014, gay man, and like so many of the men in 2014, sweet as can be. Um, I used to see Brian usually every morning in front of uh, the campus there, waiting to get in for breakfast. And, we would talk and stuff. And, anyways, um, one morning I came to the shelter and Brian was there, as usual, you know. And I looked at him and like his face was bashed in. You know, he was like really like somebody really bashed his face in. His cheek was cut. His nose looked broken. He had stitches. His eyes, one of his eyes, left or right eye, was pretty, no, banged up. And I said, "Hey, what happened, Brian?" He's like, it's a head, you know. And I said, if those guys say no, Brian, you gotta accept the no. You can't like kind of push it, man. It's like, because you can only take that so far before they ain't gonna mess around anymore, and they're gonna go, you know, they're gonna go on your butt and stuff. So, and we laughed over that. And I saw Brian like for the next 2 or 3 weeks, periodically, because I was into my own thing in Phoenix at the time. Chasing down whatever dream I had or what I wanted to have or whatever. And, he was doing his thing. So, but I saw him periodically and I watched him as he healed, kind of put the body back together and, you know, and it made me feel good. Of course, I didn't say anything, but of course, I was watching, to make sure that he was putting his body back together again, his face back together again, and he was, and you know. So he was like completely healed. you know, this beautiful young 40-year-old man with tattoos and just gorgeous, gay, and just loving people and loving life. And he was like all better and all together, you know. And the next time I saw him, you know, it was like a repeat of just what had happened. I mean, it was like the same thing. I mean, his cheek was torn and had stitches. His eye was black and all blood, and his nose was broken again. And it's like, when I saw him that morning in front of the show, I'm like, dude, can't you take no for an answer? It's like, you're barking up the wrong tree, dog. It's like, leave this guy alone, it's like, and what's really ironic about this is that he didn't find it funny. Although I did, because whoever beat him up around the face, it's like they beat him up the exact same way as he was beaten up the time before, and and I noticed this, and I told him, like, hey, get away from this guy, he's obviously not interested. I found it a joke. He didn't find it funny. And, I don't know. It was Brian, and, he never told me the first time how it happened, how he got his face beat in. And the second time I asked him, when I noticed he wasn't laughing at my little quips, he said, you see this? And he pointed to a tattoo. Got this in San Diego. See this? I got this in Long Beach. See this? I got this outside of Texas. You see this? I got this not far from Albuquerque. See this tattoo? I got this